This is the 6-minute video on Parkinson's. I'm Sarah. Are you new to Parkinson's rehab and not quite sure how to assess freezing of gait or FOG? You are not alone. As a very beginner's guide, I'll show you how to assess FOG using with practical tips and common pitfalls to avoid. This video is intended for young therapists, clinicians, and researchers, or anyone who is just beginning to assess FOG. If you are already familiar with it and know the caveats, this is probably not for you. Otherwise, let's move on to the next slide. In general, there are 3 main methods of assessing FOG: rating scales, video annotations, and sensor-based assessments. The first, rating scales, which can be either self-reported or clinical observations. The second and third are relatively more frequent in research rather than in clinics. So here I'm focusing on rating scales. First, self-reported questionnaires. The new freezing of gait questionnaire, or NFOG-Q, consists of 9 items. It's the most widely used FOG questionnaire in both clinics and research. First, to ensure that all participants have a shared understanding of FOG, show them a 1-minute video. This shows examples of FOG and how to measure their duration during turning and gait initiation. Once they learn what FOG is and how to count their FOG episodes, they can proceed to answer the questionnaire. If they answer no experienced FOG over the past months, they can be categorized as self-reported non-freezers. Otherwise, they can proceed to part 2 for more details. Yes, NFOG-Q is reported as the best clinical tool currently available. However, there are some important points to note about NFOG-Q. Firstly, it's self-reported, so cognitive status is important. If you feel a patient has difficulties beyond daily conversation, I would recommend relying on clinical observations instead. Secondly, PD patients are not always aware of their freezing episodes. A study by Goris et al. Reports that surprisingly large discrepancy was found between self-reported and expert-rated FOG. This could result in false negatives in non-freezers, so keep that in mind. You can download the NFOG-Q sheet and video from the official journal. You can use the QR codes, or I'll put the URLs in the video description. Next, I'll talk about the clinical rating scales. The MDS-UPDRS was developed to evaluate nearly all clinical aspects of PD, not only FOG. Similar to the NFOG-Q, it has been widely used in clinical settings as well as in research. I will demonstrate items related to FOG next. While assessing gait, watch for the start hesitation and stuttering steps, especially at gait initiation during turns. If no freezing is observed, the score is 0. If freezing occurs, rate the severity from 1 to 4 based on frequency. It's important to note, as the scale is 0 to 4, unlike NFOG-Q, subtle changes can be hard to capture. In addition, when patients' gait is observed in a clinical setting, their gait shifts from automatic to more controlled, and this can improve FOG. This is called a white coat effect. Therefore, you need to replicate the actual occurrence of FOG as much as possible, and then score it using MDS-UPDRS. A useful task for triggering FOG is a 360-degree turning in place, which involves making one full clockwise turn and then one full anti-clockwise turn repeatedly for 1 minute. This can reliably trigger FOG. While performing the turning in place, increasing cognitive load, such as counting backwards from 100 by 3s, can be more effective in triggering FOG. Thanks for watching. Got questions or comments? Drop them below. See you in the next video. Bye for now.